Yo, what's up, everybody? I'm back again today. I'm gonna be. Hello? Hello? Can we focus? Maybe we can't. Nice. First day I do the full webcam and I'm already having problems. You son of a gun. Can we focus on me, please? Me doing this like it's gonna help. Oh man. Well, anyhow, I don't know why it was not focusing. Very strange. Is it still like unfocused? It don't matter. Okay. Here's what we're doing today, y'all. We are working on actual things today. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that we'd be working on actual things today? Bro, not me. So, a little background, a little information on what we got happening. I am working on producing a board game with my dad because my dad is a person who is obsessed with board games. Man, I don't know why this webcam is not focusing on me. Focus on me, please. It doesn't have like a focus button, so I actually don't know how to make it like focus. Hold up, we'll see if I can work on some stuff. Ein Moment, ein Moment. There we go. Hopefully that did the thing. I mean, that looks way cleaner. Yay! Yay! Okay, cool. All right. Anyhow, it don't matter. I'm producing a board game with my dad because my dad loves board games, and he happens to hate his current job. So this is the little scheme that I hatched in my noodle here. I thought, what if I made a board game that my dad could then run the business of? Like, I produce a board game, he can run a company that sells said board game. And then he can just do that instead of the job that he works now, which he does not like. I mean, I feel like that's a great idea. So that's what I'm going to do. And so we're going to be working on the card designs today. I don't know how much I'll talk about the game. I don't know if anyone's really that interested in it anyhow. Um, but long story short, all you need to know is the game is about some medieval forts that are uh, engaged in this centuries long feud. Oops, this centuries long feud where they are essentially running very, very low on ammunition. So instead of firing, like actual like boulders and rocks out of the catapult, like how they would, you have to actually like fire pieces of your own castle out. And so you just have to be the last one to win. And that's kind of what it is. And I am still working on the title, but the placeholder name for now, which may or may not end up being the full name, is Castle Kitchen Sink. Because you have to use everything in the kitchen sink. It's kind of like a little joke for you there. So, okay, what am I doing then? There are in the game a few cards. So, I wanted to work on designing some of the cards. So, with the cards themselves, it's very much inspired by the old school, like medieval alchemy drawings. They're just like really bizarre, kind of weird looking stuff. So I want to mix that weird medieval kind of art style with the weird symbols from the alchemy drawings, and make it a bit lighthearted and goofy. So obviously, like this is one of the designs here. I was just kind of toying with stuff last night in my mind about, okay, what do I wanna do for it and everything, and so yeah, that's kind of what I had. That's kind of what I had cooking, and that's what we're gonna be working on today. So we're gonna be doing some actual projects. Um, so yeah, I have thumbnails made for all of the cards. So the idea is there's supposed to be really limited supplies, so there's not a lot of cards. So we've got the two ideas that I have. Here's one, and then here's another, and then I guess I'll just go through and show you all of them. Here's one, So see, I want this very like esoteric, strange, like weird patterns and symbols and stuff. Um, this one, we've got like a potion with stuff falling out. And I had a bunch of ideas for what I wanted for this card, the more money card. And I think I'm going to go with this because this just feels weird. And I really like it. So there is this one. Kitchen sink here. I think there's going to be a catapult that I'm going to illustrate. And I think I want to load it with a kitchen sink. I originally drew like a couch because I was like, that looks kind of cool. But I was like, okay, maybe a kitchen sink would be cool. Then this one, we got the heart boxers. We've got some cool ones. I really like how I drew the hands. Even though they're like really like distorted and weird, I really like that. Like I like how the fingers like not quite proportionate and like looks really tiny and stuff. So I really like that. And we have the favorable winds and stuff. More just like weird art. These two, in my opinion, are like my least favorite. So I have like a nope card, kind of. It's just like a card that like stops other cards from happening, and I don't know if you can really tell. I'll have to make it focus, but it's just basically like an X symbol with the the cross out symbol with just the different pieces. I don't know if I'm gonna keep that or not. I might end up tweaking this. And then this one is like a coupon card, and I don't know how I feel about it yet. I'm gonna see. These two are probably ones that I'm gonna want to redesign, and in fact I actually might mark it just to remember that I probably will want to redesign it. So that's something we could probably do today. And then we've got these two, Merchant of Death and then Parlay. I like these ones a lot. I'm going to probably redraw this guy's legs. These are just thumbnails, so these are just me getting ideas out. But I like this one a lot. Then we've got a couple, like this one man's trash. It's just a carriage with the recycling logo on it, which I thought was pretty cool. And then here's like a fog card, and I want there to just be like basically a big bunch of fog drawn on it. And then these are the last two. It's deserter, so like a guy walking away from a castle. These two are also need to be redone. And then like acid rain, but again, they're just thumbnails. And then I was like trying to figure out what I wanted for the cards to kind of look like. I'm kind of not sure if this is really how I want it to look or not. I want it to feel like like a scroll or like ancient text. Because that's what a lot of times it looks like on the with like medieval art and stuff. It looks very like it's just ancient art, so it looks ancient, and that's kind of the vibe that I want to give. So those are my designs. I think I have some really strong designs, and then I like these two. I think are really strong. These ones are good. I like these ones too. Some of the latter half ones I just don't think are as good. Like these ones, I really like the stork with the baby cow. So essentially in the game, there's only like a couple different types of like resources you have. It's like soldiers, the king's tower, walls, treasure, livestock. That's it. There's basically like 5 different types of treasure. Am I forgetting anything? No, there's 5 different types of treasure, and I actually, for the piece design, I have one of my peers who also happens to be my cousin. She's working on that because I don't really. I've been mostly like an illustrator, and I've done mostly 2D design. Like that's actually what I went to school for. So I haven't done like a lot of that type of stuff, and so she's like actually making those design pieces. But those are the different types of pieces, and each card that I have here essentially affects those, because those are the things you fire off, like your own soldiers, your own tower, your own walls, your livestock, your treasure, that type of stuff. So most of these cards are essentially going to do that. They're just going to be like, they do certain things. Like this gives you a new livestock token, right? And then some of them have different effects and are like events. Like this one makes it more powerful for you to fire off livestock and stuff. I've done some of the writing, definitely not all of it, but I want to get the card art done first. And then like there's other things I need to do too. But okay, so thinking about the style for this stuff and everything, I want it to feel like that medieval art, like I was saying. And so a lot of really fine uh, pens is kind of what I was thinking, and I want to do like a lot of hatching. That's kind of the the goal is to just do like a ton of hatching and to have really intricate fine details because I feel like that's a lot of the stuff that they used. And then I also want the game to be slightly funny, and like a lot of the writing ideas that I have are like a bit, they're like, like more witty and things like that. That's kind of the plan. And so something I want to work on and kind of add to it. But yeah, so that's basically the plan for today. So we're just gonna go through and make more final renditions of these, um, and do some experimentation, see what art we like. Because I had tried to put this. I was like, all right, I'll like throw it in on my computer and like touch it up and everything like that. I've been using Affinity Designer, and I do really like Affinity Designer. It's really cool, and it's also free, which is like really nice because Adobe is like so expensive on top of other things that Adobe is. But so yeah, I'm essentially just going to be drawing these traditionally because when I put them on Designer, I liked how it looked, but it didn't give off the vibe that I wanted it to. It looked very graphic, and I don't mean like violent. I mean like very flat, and that's probably a testament to my skills in Designer, which is the case. But I just think that me doing it traditional would be really cool because also being somebody who's like versed in the board game industry and world, a lot of the art kind of looks the same. Um, if I'm being real, and I think it'd be cool to try and break out and make something that looks a little different for my little game. So that's the plan. That's the update, and that's what I got happening. Um, so yeah, um, I guess let's just get into it. I don't know if I want to keep my. So yeah, this was me just testing some things out. I was like, maybe I could use my brush pen, and I didn't quite get the effect that I wanted to. I think had I been better at using my brush pen, I probably could do it, but I digress. Um, so yeah, let's just do it, I guess. I think I'm gonna put these up here, kind of in front of me, so I can see what I'm drawing a bit better. Nice. Nice. I also have considered maybe I'll trace them. Might happen. I'm the type of guy, I don't know if anybody can relate to this. I am a person who shoots from the hip, and when I do like a lot of the computing in my mind before I put it out on paper. And so by the time it gets out, it's usually like what I know I want to be the final design. And I'm also the type of person where like I know what I want. Like I'm very good at just knowing and deciding exactly if I want something or not. So like when I do thumbnails, by the time I put it on paper, it's usually pretty close to the final design. Now, obviously, there are some tweaks that will be made, but it's usually like that's usually pretty much what it is. So, with the stork design, I had one where he was sort of looking down, and it was kind of like a side angle, and then I had one of him like off to the side. I really like the side angle of the stork, but I also like the side angle of the baby cow, the calf. So I think what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and mix them. Also, because it's a card, like a playing card, I might try and orient it as if it were a card. That's probably what I should do. Okay. I'm just gonna put this for a full hour. We draw on for an hour, y'all. I was posting some clips and like editing some clips of just the stream. And I really liked how this timer looked a lot. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, I definitely need to keep doing it because I've gone back and forth as to whether or not I want to keep it or not. And I kind of like it like this. Okay. Probably isn't going to be the most centered. I could definitely afford to do that, but it's just how I am. Just how I work. Okay. Also, sorry that today is going to be a bit shorter. Um, Word of the day is show up, show up, show up. Even if it's not perfect, even if it's not as long as you wanted. Like I just had to take care of some stuff today, um, and that's just gonna happen. You got to be able to roll with the punches. You got to be able to fix and approach problems when they come up, and continue to persist in spite of that. So that's the word or the advice of today is to just keep on pushing. Okay. And as always, I'm very happy and very excited to be here. Do, do, do. Okay. Let me grab my ruler. Little baby ruler. One ruler to rule them all. Sorry about my fat head being in the way. Move it, football head. Okay. Just had to do that. Hmm. You know, I have been considering moving this camera lower since I'm always looking down, but it's probably fine. And then, yeah, like I said, I want to add like a lot of hatching and stuff. That's kind of the plan. Dun, dun, dun. So I play tested my game like a couple times, like approximately 5 times, I would say. Oh, maybe a bit more than that at this point. Um, but it's been quite. It's actually I'm not kidding. It's actually been pretty fun. Not to toot my own horn here. Definitely needed to fix some things. Like, okay, at the beginning when I made it, there were some glaring issues. Like I had my dad and my brother were playing, just play testing it when it was in its development stage in its infancy, and my brother basically broke the game, and I was like, okay, well that will need to be fixed. But I got those things, those kind of kinks worked out. I don't think that you're gonna be able to just break it. So that is good. And then kind of the rest of the things that I have to do for the game are mostly at this point I'm just kind of in the design phase. So I want to make these cards, which probably gonna bring you guys along for that. So you'll be seeing like a lot of the cards being made and stuff. And then the rest will be like kind of some design stuff. Um, as far as writing goes, and I have to make rules. I have to make like I have the rules made, but like make an official write up for it. I have to make a game board. So those are just some of the things I have to do. Right now, it's just being developed. Okay, this is honestly the card. This is honestly the card art that I was wanting to do. Never quite been the greatest at hatching, I will admit. I feel like my problem is with balance is just like a hard thing for me to achieve. Like I always like add too much or not enough. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's where my struggle lies, I would say. I do kind of want to give him like little legs. Should it just be that thin? It should be a little bit thicker, but not too much. But not too much. I think it's going to be really good for me to work on. I'm trying to balance. I'm trying to balance making things and then also like practicing. Because before I wouldn't make anything and all I would do is practice. So, you know, trying to evolve and change and make positive changes in my life and branch out from my normal habits and everything to get to a better place. And so I'm trying to balance doing this. So I think this will be really good for me, even if we don't do the full time, which I do kind of want to do, especially because I ran really late today, and like I said, had to take care of some stuff. So I don't have that much longer to stream, but. so I am. I'm like, should I even add any more? Or is this just like good? Hmm. I don't know. I do not know. I like the little baby bundle thing that I've illustrated. I think it looks good. I don't think I want to add any more. I just don't know if I should add more to the stork. I kind of like that he's just like all clear. I think he looks really goofy, which is the plan. Like I really, I really like the shape of his body. I don't know. Maybe we'll keep that for now, and then maybe I'll come back to it. I'm thinking about maybe what I'll do is maybe I'll run and make a copy of it. Yeah, that'll be a good idea, so I can like mess around with it a bit. So I'll rip this out for now, and we'll move on to the next one. This one's really cool. This one's one of my favorite ones that I did. You know, cows have such like and bulls like have such thick like neck muscles. It took me such a long time to like figure out how I wanted to do that because I was like I kept making it too thin and it was just like weird. So it just took me a little bit to figure out exactly kind of what I wanted to do for it. And then I have him like blowing some of the smoke out. Oh wow, this one's a lot smaller. Okay. Ooh, I don't like the direction of the smoke. Drat. Yeah, I think it because I made his face so long, it like kind of looks strange. Like it should be going out more like this. So, okay, we redo. No worries. We redo. I'm gonna draw it a bit bigger too. Well, I do not like that. Not one bit. Okay. Last time we redo last time. But, okay. This is it for real. I'm serious this time. This is how I sound like when I play video games and I just am failing. Just one more, one more. Okay. I think this is pretty solid. Something like that. Okay, once I render this is gonna look good. I promise. I promise. We gotta trust the process. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm definitely made this line too dark. And I think I don't mind darkening more things up uh with the rest of this, so that's definitely something I'm gonna have to keep in mind here. Um because I need to be careful with how much contrast I put into everything. Okay. Mike, should I do another horn? You know? Maybe it's okay with just the one. I think this is okay for now. Could probably use a bit of touching up. Like, honestly, I feel like I just made this neckline like a lot too thick and dark. Um, but I still really enjoy the design. I think that's pretty good. Um, the horn could be a bit longer too, but hmm, I think I like it enough for now to put it digitally. So we'll see. Okay. Okay, I've got plenty of time. For a second, I thought it was already like 11. I was like, what? Okay. So, one of my designs that I'm going to do next, I do have some differing ideas on what I want to do for the background. So we'll see what I come up with for it. I feel like I'm already gonna want to redo this one. We'll see though. I feel like the rendering does a lot for these, and so it's kind of hard to tell. Oh, my fault, y'all. Bro got his fat head in the way. So yeah, I kind of like the idea of it being having like a very, I don't want to say crude, but almost crude, like an imperfect kind of art style. We're gonna see how I like it as we go. Okay, and then so here's the part where I don't know what I'm gonna do. So the background, I'm either gonna do like texture of texture of grass or just like some lines in the background. So I have to figure out what I'm gonna do for that still. Hmm. I don't know. I'm gonna see, but first I have to draw the sword. This is quite the crooked looking sword, but I kind of like it. Hmm. Try not to yawn. Impossible challenge. I think I might try and do these horizontal lines because I think they're pretty cool. Sorry, y'all. So here's what I'm thinking. If I do that, um, should it go all the way down to the sword? Should it stop at the helmet? I don't know. I really do not know yet. We shall see. So definitely the way that I prefer to do things is to just keep doing it. Is this like pen like dying? No, I was gonna say, I'm like, what? So definitely the way that I prefer to do things is I just keep doing it. Instead of like making like one big master copy, I'll just try and like keep circling the best idea and keep getting closer to the final product. So I'll just keep redoing it. So from here, honestly, what I'll probably do is I'll trace it and do like a more final design. Hmm. Not so sure I like that. I think that maybe grass would be better. Having looked at it. Yeah. I think maybe something more like approximating that would be better. Maybe the grass can even creep up a bit on the blade. Okay. So I'm gonna just go through, make more final designs, and then I guess we could call these medium designs, right? Because I'm eventually gonna do like a final master copy, and then eventually edit them digitally. But so I'm gonna go through and make these, and then eventually I'll trace over them. But we'll do like critiques and stuff once we finish. And just see what we like best. Oh, that's probably so out. Sorry, y'all. Okay. So I like weird hands for this project. Are these hands too weird? No, I don't think so. I think it's okay for now. And I really like what I did with the brick design. Where I just did these like, it's like pattern almost. Now, the only thing I need to decide is what kind of texture do I want to add, if any, to the bricks. Definitely need to add some texture to the hands. I think it's going to make it a lot better. Okay. Does this look focused? Boy, I gotta make sure that like the autofocus is on in this. It's supposed to be like that's what the setting is. So it's supposed to be, but okay. I'm thinking because I want the bricks to be darkened. What we can do is we'll probably do like 3 layers of bricks. And I don't imagine I'll need much more than that. You know, especially because the card's probably going to cut this part off. Okay. So do you think I should do... One idea is stippling. I will stipple this this brick right here. See how I feel about it. Oh god. But honestly, I don't think I'm gonna like anything more than stippling. Like, what's the alternative? Like, lines? Definitely not this, right? Just nothing but stippling is gonna give that rocky, grainy texture. So I'm definitely gonna have to do that. Bro. Plane, I don't know if you can hear. I think I might actually keep this clear, but stippling is definitely the method. And I'm doing that digitally. Thank you very much. But I like the art for this. I like the design. I think it's really good. Okay. Well, and like that, we've done 4 designs. and like a lot more than that to go. But that's okay. This could be a multi-day project, and I wouldn't be mad about it. All right, next up is Health Potion. The Health Potion card. That is going to be nice and easy, I think, to do. The main thing is just making the liquid look right. So it's going to be something like this. It's probably too spaced out. But I love the design that I did for this. So I did basically vertical lines, and maybe it should be slightly curved based off the like curve of the glass. I basically did this, and then for the, since it's tilted, for the part where there's kind of still air, that's kind of what I did. Probably could have been executed a bit better. See, so I did pencil sketches and now I'm doing pen, and like the thing is, when you have the differences, pencil has, like, when you use a pencil, it's just so, it's just, the pressure varies so much, and so the color and everything can be so much different. So, So what I want to do for this is really make it look like it's pooling. Like it's got volume and it's three-dimensional. So that's kind of my thoughts for that one. I don't know how I feel about it. We'll see. Okay. I will be right back. I'm just gonna use the restroom. Dude, it's so embarrassing when I do that crap. I've returned, y'all. Okay, so the plan is probably stream for another 30 minutes. It hasn't been the longest stream in the world. I acknowledge that. But that's okay. Consistent effort. I'm going to be here tomorrow. And the next day. And the next day. And the next day. You cannot get rid of me. So, yeah. We'll hit this, John, for 30 more minutes. Let's keep it moving. This one's okay. I feel like this one is one that would really benefit from a thicker outline. You know, I wonder if I just have like a... I'm pretty sure I do. Let me see if I have like a pen that's just... I've got this pen here. Let me see about just... Let me just... Like, do we like that? I think so. I think we do like that. Like, especially with this one. Oh my god, I'm pressing down literally so hard. That's one thing I need to work on. If I'm not using like a brush pen, I just push down so hard. So that's another reason why I need to master the brush pen. So dope. Because I honestly could be using the brush pen for this and it would work fine and it would be good. If I mess this up a little bit, it's fine. But, man, now it makes it look like pencil. I don't know. The bottom line, I like the design and this will be good. This will be okay for me to trace over and fix everything with the final design, the final paper design. You get the idea. All right, moving on. This one's dope. I'm really excited to do this one. This one is just an eye. Ooh, an eye. Okay. I'm curious to see how you guys feel about the Odyssey trailer. Um, in the Odyssey movie that's coming out. I love the Odyssey, and I took a mythology class in college, and I read like the full thing, like not just the stuff they make you read for high school. So I read all the books, and um, I'm pretty optimistic. I think it's gonna be good. I'd be interested to see what you guys think. There are like so many actors in it. We've got more storms today. More crazy wind today. Boy, I feel like I accidentally made this too big. But that's okay. It's probably good for me to make it like this size. I started watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the OVA, so like the season 3 OVA from like 93. It's been quite a trip. So my journey with JoJo's has been, I've watched part 1 and then I have watched part 5 Golden Wind, but only like a couple episodes because I just didn't finish it, not because I didn't enjoy it. Um and so that has been the extent of my journey. And so I know legitimately nothing about what's going on beyond the scope of what I know from the stuff that I've seen. So I'm pretty sure the OVA starts off kind of in the middle of the season. At least that's what I've been led to believe. And I'm liking it so far. The art style is so cool, which is kind of why I decided to watch it, because just visually it's really stunning. They really put their all into it. It looks good. I do think that coloring this is going to be a challenge because I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Like, part of me almost wants to just make it black and white. I just don't know. I just don't know. So we'll see. Um, once I get more final illustrations and then put it on like digital, manipulating it and stuff like that will be like a lot easier. Coloring things should be a lot easier. Okay. Now is the part